So New York yesterday asked for a stay on the temporary restraining order against the CCIA. So let's go ahead and talk about the response from GOF and GOA. What is up, Wolverines, and welcome back to the channel. Timestamps are down below. And you know what else is down? The stock market and the prices on everything is up. So what I did is I took a couple 401ks that I had sitting out there doing nothing because the stock market sucks and transfer them into a Lear Capital Advantage IRA. So you can call 1-800-741-0551 and get their free investor's guide to gold and silver. And you can transfer some of your wealth over into a Lear Capital IRA because it's really, really good to diversify. Lear Capital is the gold standard in precious metals. They have an almost perfect rating on Trustpilot, and they have $3 billion in transactions. So you should definitely call Lear Capital. They are a conservative, American-based company that supports channels like mine. And you can get your free investor's guide by calling 1-800-741-0551. That's 1-800-741-0551. And if you don't feel like calling, there is a special link down below. And for my viewers, you can get up to $15,000 in bonus silver and free shipping on your first order, which might save you a lot of money because silver is very heavy. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the CCIA, GOA's TRO, and the state's motion for a stay. The CCIA is the Concealed Carry Improvement Act, which was a law passed by New York right after the Bruen decision came out. It was a response to Bruen. Bruen knocked down a lot of the New York law, including their proper clause law. So New York went ahead and replaced that with a good moral character clause because they thought somehow that was going to fly. New York also made most of the state a sensitive area or restricted area. And Thomas said that certain areas could be designated as sensitive, such as schools or government buildings, but the designation had to be used very sparingly. He also said that a place where people gather at cannot be designated sensitive just because people gather there. New York went ahead and designated Times Square a sensitive area because people gather there. And almost every private business was listed as a restricted area, where if you carried into it, you could be charged with a felony. The only way your business could be designated as not a restricted area if you posted a bunch of signs everywhere that said guns are welcome. So GOA took them to court twice, actually, and they won on the second time and got a temporary restraining order against the CCIA. New York appealed the temporary restraining order and asked a judge to go ahead and issue a stay on the temporary restraining order. And if he would not issue a stay on the complete temporary restraining order, New York wanted him just to apply it to the plaintiffs. GOA, of course, objected to that, and now they have filed their motion in opposition to the motion for a stay against the TRO. I'm going to go through a few of the reasons why they object to the stay. But for full disclosure, I do work with GOA and GOF, and I am friends with Rob Olson and Stephen Simbolier, the two attorneys that wrote the response. So just want to be upfront with you guys and let you know where I am coming from. Okay, first thing. The motion of objection to the stay says that the TRO will not cause irreparable harm because the law just went into effect. If you don't know, the CCIA went into effect on September 1st. Before that, people that had a concealed carry permit could carry everywhere and was not subjected to the CCIA. So by restraining the CCIA, it does not really make a difference. Even if it did cause irreparable harm, the court cannot rule against it because the law is blatantly unconstitutional. And if you look at New York's appeal for stay against the TRO, they say they want to do it because of public safety and the well-being of the community, which if you look at Bruin, it said that courts have to go by the actual text of the Second Amendment and the history of the Second Amendment. And there is no historical context that puts public safety and well-being ahead of anyone's rights. So therefore, even if for some reason they thought that there was irreparable harm, they could not do it. One interesting thing is New York also asked for an interim stay, which means give me a stay now and then you can decide on the stay later. So basically, it's give me what I want now, and then you can decide later whether I deserve it or not. Also, the state is saying this is the only way for them to get relief. But that isn't exactly true because there is something called a preliminary injunction hearing and a permanent injunction hearing, which they will get to present their side. So that is kind of a little white lie that they're trying to pull into the courts, and I don't think that is going to fly. Also, the TRO does not bind the courts in any which way. The judge can still change his mind during the preliminary injunction or permanent injunction by the evidence that the state presents. Do I think that's going to happen? No, but it could. GOA and GOF goes into how the state tried to improperly shift the burden and how they're doing this because they disagree with the district court's decision. There is much more to everything that is actually in the motion in opposition to the stay that I encourage you to read. If I was to go over every single fact that they lay out, because they were really, really thorough, we would be here for like an hour, and I don't want to be here for an hour. So I encourage you to read it. It's linked down below. You can get it right off the GOF website. And with that, I think I'm going to end it right here. So remember, like, comment, and subscribe. It really, really helps with the algorithm. And I will be on Tipping Point on OAN tonight at 10 p.m. So go ahead and watch me there. I'll be talking about gun stuff, I guess. I'm not really sure. They didn't really tell me. But gun stuff is what I'm guessing, because it would be really weird if they brought up like something else. I don't know. I almost said the A word, which would probably get me demonetized. So I did not say that. So go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. I love you very much. Stay ever vigilant. Stay ever free. Keep in the fight. I am out of here. Wolverine's mother...